Okay, so first things first, what am I going to need to remove my wraps? There are two different methods to removing your Jamberry nail wraps. There is the really quick and easy painless way, and that's using nail polish remover and soaking your wraps off. Some people don't like to use the chemicals and they don't like the smell of nail polish remover, and that's why they use Jamberry wraps. So there's also a slightly more natural way to get them off as well, and that's using some coconut oil. You can use olive oil, you can use any of that kind of stuff. So there's a few things that I'm going to need. I'm going to need some nail polish remover. It doesn't matter what kind it is, just some sort of nail polish remover. I like to use non-acetone nail polish remover. I am going to use coconut oil, so I'm going to actually do both removal methods. And I've lost my last special piece. There it is, it's hiding. So I'm going to use this. I am going to use my Jamberry nail heater. This is going to help soften the wraps before I even start to remove them so I don't have any issues. And the secret weapon that I like to use is actually a nail floss stick. This really helps in getting the wraps off without causing any damage. Now if you pull them off too quickly, they are going to get damaged, so you want to work nice and slow. I'll show you guys how to do it. I'm going to do it. Okay, so let's get started. I've also grabbed a cotton ball, or you can use a Q-tip. This just helps so that you don't have to soak your whole finger in nail polish remover to get the wraps to come off. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn on my heater, and I'm going to show you the nail polish remover technique first. So there's my nail polish remover. I've got a piece of paper towel so that I have something to wipe my hands off with. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lovely flosser, which works oh so well. I'm going to heat up the wrap. I'm going to heat it up as much as I can. So heat is going to start to feel really warm with your cuticle and in your nail bed. And you do it until it's, well, not uncomfortable, but you don't want it, you want to actually make sure it's warm. At that point I'm going to take my nail floss and I'm going to very gently lift up just the very edge of that nail wrap. So you can see that it's lifting. At that point I'm going to take a cotton swab or my Q-tip, and I'm going to just get a little bit of nail polish remover underneath that wrap. At that point I'm going to take my nail flosser and I'm going to very carefully and slowly peel that wrap off. You can see that it's coming really nicely. If it starts to stick at all, I'm going to grab that cotton swab again and use some more nail polish remover. At no time do I want to pull that wrap off. So just very gently working that off, and there we go. So wrap number 1 off. If there's any leftover adhesive, I'm going to use my cotton swab and just wipe off any of that excess adhesive. And there we go. So then I would remove all of my nails that way if I'm using nail polish remover. Next up I'm going to use some olive oil, and I'm going to take off my pinky wrap next. So I've got, or not olive oil, sorry, coconut oil. So it is the same method. I'm going to take my nail, I'm going to heat it up. I'm going to go heat till it's nice and toasty warm. Going to use the edge of that flosser, break the seal. You're not going to really have, or you're going to have a really hard time getting your wraps off if you haven't broken that seal. Then I'm going to take a little bit of the coconut oil, heat it so it starts to melt a little bit, and basically what I'm doing is kind of dripping it underneath my wrap there. Reheat. So this way does take a little bit longer, but it rehydrates your nails at the same time as you're removing them, which is really good for your nails because we dry them out in order to put the wraps on. So it's always nice to rehydrate them when we're taking our wraps off. I'm going to apply a little bit more heat, a little bit more oil. And again, just very slowly and gently working that flosser underneath. And there we go. So that one's off. You can see that I've got some silver on my nail, and that is actually just the adhesive with some of the glitter from that wrap that's on my nail. So I can take more oil and, come off oil, there we go. as well as another little piece of cotton, and I can give that a good rub, and that's going to cause that adhesive to come off. It doesn't come off as nicely with the with the oil as it does with the nail polish remover, so I'm having a tough time getting it off, so I'm going to use the little bit of nail polish remover that's still on my cotton swab. Now, when I first started wearing Jamberries and when I first joined, I ripped my Jamberry wraps off quite frequently, and that caused it so that I damaged my nails. The first couple of times it was all fine, and then I started getting white lines on my nails. And those have almost grown out, which is why it was sticking a little bit more towards the tip of my nail, because there's a little bit of damage there. It's almost grown out, and now that I take my wraps off appropriately, I don't have that issue anymore. So once I've taken all of my wraps off, I like to take some cuticle oil or some hand cream or anything like that, and I'm going to just massage that into those cuticles and on those nails themselves. Again, we've dried them out with acetone or alcohol, so we want to rehydrate them. Even if I'm reapplying wraps really quickly, I'm still going to do this while I take off the rest of my wraps. So there we go. I'll just take off the excess oil so that you can see my actual nails. And there we go. Those two are done.